Imagine a young boy who never closed his eyes to sleep, not even once. While the whole village dreamed under the stars, he walks through the darkness wide awake. The reason why he could not sleep left everyone completely speechless. Long ago, in a small village in the heart of Africa, there was a peaceful place called Zuberi. The village had many round huts made of mud and thatch. People lived there with their families. They grew cassava, yams, and millet in their farms. They raised goats and chickens. Every day, the men hunted in the savannah or fished in the nearby river. The women pounded grain and prepared meals over open fires. Children played under the baobab trees that gave shade from the hot sun. The people in Zuberi were happy. They celebrated the harvest with drums and dancing. They told stories under the moon to teach their children about wisdom and respect. But one day, a strange boy came to the village. His name was Jabari. He was about 12 years old, thin and pale with eyes that seemed too bright. His dark hair was dusty and wild. He wore torn clothes and no shoes. He carried nothing with him. No bag, no food, nothing. Jabari did not speak when he first arrived. He stood at the edge of the village looking lost. The villagers were curious. They gathered around him. "Where are you from?" asked an old woman named Mama Zelica. She was kind, but careful with strangers. Jabari looked at the ground. "I come from far away," he said quietly, "from beyond the great hills." He did not say more. The villagers looked at each other. A child alone was unusual. "Where are your parents?" asked the village chief. His name was Chief Obi. He was wise, with gray in his beard and scars from his youth as a warrior. Jabari's eyes filled with tears, but he held them back. "They are gone," he whispered. Chief Obi nodded slowly. "You can stay here. We will find you a place." They gave Jabari a small space in the hut of a family with many children. The father was named Kofi. He was a farmer with strong hands and a big laugh. "You are welcome here," Kofi said. "Work with us and you will have food and a home." Jabari bowed his head. "Thank you. I will work hard." And he did. He worked in the fields from when the sun rose. He carried water from the river. He helped with the goats. He never complained. But the family noticed something very strange. Jabari never slept. At first, they thought maybe he slept during the day when they were working. But no. Kofi's wife, Amara, watched carefully. Jabari was always awake. In the morning, when everyone woke up, Jabari was already outside working. At night, when everyone went to sleep, Jabari sat by the door looking at the stars. The children whispered about it. "He is like a spirit," said the youngest daughter, little Nia. She was only 6 years old. "Do not say such things," said Amara. But she was worried too. One night, Kofi stayed awake to watch. He pretended to sleep, but kept one eye open. Jabari sat in the corner of the hut where he had a mat. He did not lie down. He did not close his eyes. He just sat very still, looking at nothing. Sometimes he whispered words Kofi could not hear. When the rooster called in the morning, Jabari stood up and went outside, as if a new day had begun for him too. Kofi told Chief Obi, "The boy never sleeps, not even for a moment. I watched all night. His eyes never closed." Chief Obi stroked his beard. "That is impossible. Everyone must sleep. Even animals sleep." "I know, but Jabari does not. What kind of person never sleeps?" The news spread through the village. People talked in quiet voices. Some said Jabari was blessed by the ancestors. Some said he was cursed. Some said he was not human at all. But Jabari continued to work hard and be kind. He helped old Mama Zelica carry her firewood. He played with the children during the day. He fixed broken tools. Everyone liked him, but everyone was also afraid. One evening, the village gathered for a celebration. They lit a big fire in the center of the village. The drums played loud rhythms. Children ran and laughed. Adults drank palm wine and ate roasted goat meat. Young people danced with energy. The firelight made shadows dance on the huts. Except Jabari. He sat alone on a rock, watching. His bright eyes reflected the flames. Little Nia ran to him. "Jabari, come dance." She pulled his hand. Jabari smiled a little. "I cannot dance." "Why not?" asked Nia. Jabari said sad. "I am too tired." Nia tilted her head. "Then go to sleep." Jabari's smile faded. "I cannot do that either." Nia did not understand. She ran back to her mother. That night, after the celebration, Chief Obi called Jabari to his hut. "Sit," he said. Jabari sat on a wooden stool. The old chief poured water from a clay pot. "Jabari, the people are worried. They see you never sleep. They want to know why." Jabari looked at his hands. "I know they talk about me." "Then tell me the truth," Chief Obi said gently. "Why do you not sleep? Is it a sickness?" Jabari was quiet for a long time. Finally he spoke. "It is not a sickness. It is a punishment." Chief Obi leaned forward. "A punishment? From whom?" Jabari's voice shook. "The river spirits, because of what I did." "What did you do?" asked Chief Obi. Before Jabari could answer, a loud crack came from outside. Thunder. The sky had been clear, but now dark clouds covered the stars. Wind blew hard, shaking the huts. The fire in the center went wild. People ran to their homes. Rain began to fall in heavy sheets, like the sky was pouring buckets. Chief Obi stood up. "A storm. We will talk more tomorrow. Go home now." But Jabari did not move. "The storm comes because of me," he whispered. "Because I spoke of it." Chief Obi frowned. "What do you mean?" Jabari looked up. His bright eyes were full of fear. "When I talk about my punishment, the spirits get angry. They remind me of what I did. The storm is their warning." Chief Obi did not know what to believe, but the storm was strange. It came from nowhere. The wind howled like angry voices. Trees bent low. The rain was so hard it hurt like small stones. Lightning flashed again and again, lighting up the whole village. All night the storm raged, and all night Jabari sat awake in Kofi's hut while everyone else tried to sleep through the noise. In the morning, the storm stopped suddenly. The sun came out bright and hot, but 5 huts had lost their roofs. The millet fields were flooded. The wooden fence around the goat pen had blown away. The villagers were upset. "The storm was unnatural," said one farmer. "It came too fast." "And it stopped too fast," said another. They looked at Jabari, who was already working to fix a damaged fence. "It is the boy," whispered Mama Zelica. "The storm came when Chief Obi questioned him." That afternoon, Chief Obi called a village meeting. Everyone came. They sat in a circle under the big baobab tree in the village center. Jabari stood in the middle. Chief Obi spoke. "Jabari, the people are frightened. Strange things happened since you arrived. You never sleep. A terrible storm came last night. You said it was because you spoke of your punishment. You must tell us everything. What did you do? Why do the spirits punish you?" Jabari looked at all the faces watching him. Men, women, children, elders. Some looked angry, some looked scared, some looked sad for him. He took a deep breath. "I will tell you, but please do not send me away. I have nowhere else to go." "Tell us first," said Chief Obi. "Then we will decide." Jabari nodded. "It happened 1 year ago. I lived in a village beyond the great hills, smaller than this one. My mother and father were farmers. I had a little sister named Zara. She was 8 years old. I loved her very much." The people listened. Jabari's voice was soft, but everyone heard. "Near our village there was a sacred river, not the big river where we fished, a smaller one deep in the forest. The water there was special. It sparkled even at night with silver light. The elders said the river spirits lived there, ancient spirits, older than our grandmothers' grandmothers. They said never go to that river alone, never drink the water, never disturb the spirits. If you do, they will punish you terribly. But children are curious. One day, my friends and I wanted to see the sacred river. We thought the stories were just to scare us. Old people always tell scary stories. We went when our parents were in the fields. We walked through the forest. We found the river. The water sparkled like it had stars inside. It was the most beautiful thing I ever saw. My friends wanted to leave, but I said no. I wanted to touch the water. I wanted to prove the spirits were not real. I laughed at the old stories. So I walked to the river, I bent down, and I drank the water. The villagers gasped. Mama Zelica shook her head and made a sound of dismay. Chief Obi's face was serious. Jabari continued. The water was ice cold, even though the day was hot. It burned my throat like fire and ice together. It tasted like metal and earth and something I cannot describe. I coughed and fell back. My friends screamed and ran away. They left me there. I felt sick. My body shook like I had fever. My head hurt so much I screamed. Then I heard voices, many voices, speaking together, like a crowd, but also like one voice. They said, "Foolish boy, you drank the sacred water. You showed no respect. You laughed at us. You will be punished." I could not see anyone, just the sparkling silver light on the water. The voices said, "You will never sleep again. Every night you will be awake while the world dreams. You will be tired forever, but sleep will never come. Your body will ache. Your mind will be heavy. This will teach you respect. This will remind you of your foolishness. Until you understand, until you truly repent, you will never rest." I tried to say sorry. I tried to beg, but the voices stopped. The light on the water went dim. I was alone. I ran home. My parents were so worried. They asked where I was. I told them I fell and hit my head. That night I went to my sleeping mat, but I could not sleep. I lay there all night with my eyes open. I thought maybe tomorrow I would sleep, but the next night the same, and the next, and every night after. Days passed, weeks passed. I never slept, not even for 1 second. I became so tired. Everything hurt. My bones ached. My eyes burned. I could not think clearly, but I could not sleep. My parents took me to the village healer. She gave me herbs that make people sleep. Nothing worked. She did rituals. She called on the ancestors. Nothing worked. Then my little sister Zara got very sick, a terrible fever. The healer tried everything, but she got worse and worse. Jabari's voice broke. Tears ran down his face. She died. My little sister died, and it was my fault. The spirits said my punishment was mine alone, but my family suffered too. I brought bad luck to my house. The crops failed. Our goats died. My father hurt his leg and could not work. My mother cried every night. The village blamed me. They said I cursed us all by drinking the sacred water. They said I killed my sister. So one night I left. I walked and walked. I came here hoping to start over, but the curse follows me. I will never sleep, never rest, never have peace. The village was silent. You could hear the wind in the baobab leaves. Some people looked down, others wiped their eyes. Little Nia cried. Kofi put his hand on Jabari's shoulder. Chief Obi spoke. "You were foolish, yes, but you were a child. Children make mistakes." "The spirits do not care," said Jabari. "They want me to suffer forever." Mama Zelica stood up slowly. She was the oldest person in the village, and everyone respected her wisdom. "I know of the sacred river you speak of. My grandmother told me stories. It is powerful. The spirits there are ancient and strict, but they are not cruel. Spirits do not punish without reason, and they do not punish forever. There must be a way to break the curse." Jabari shook his head. "There is no way. I tried everything." "Have you truly repented?" asked Mama Zelica. "Have you shown the spirits you understand your mistake?" "I say sorry every day. I think of my sister every day. I live with guilt every moment. How much more must I suffer?" Mama Zelica walked to him with her walking stick. She looked at him with kind but piercing eyes. "Saying sorry is not the same as understanding. Thinking of your sister is not the same as making peace. You carry guilt like a heavy stone, but guilt is not wisdom." Jabari looked confused. "What do you mean?" Mama Zelica touched his shoulder. "You drank the sacred water to prove spirits were not real. You did not believe. You did not respect. You laughed at the old ways. Now you suffer and you are angry at the spirits. You think they are unfair. You think the punishment is too harsh. But have you truly accepted that you were wrong? Have you honored the spirits and asked for forgiveness with your heart, not just your words?" Jabari was quiet. "You think I have not tried?" "I think you have tried to escape your punishment," said Mama Zelica, "but not to learn from it. The spirits want you to understand respect, not just feel pain. They want you to change, not just suffer." Chief Obi nodded. "She speaks truth. Jabari, you must go back to the sacred river. You must face the spirits again, not to beg for mercy, but to show you have changed inside." Jabari looked terrified. His whole body shook. "I cannot go back there. I am too afraid." "You must," said Mama Zelica, "or you will never sleep again. You will grow old, but never rest. That is no life." The people murmured in agreement. "We will go with you," said Kofi. "You are not alone anymore." Jabari looked at all of them. These people who barely knew him, they were willing to help. Tears filled his eyes again. "Why would you help me? I brought a storm. I might bring more bad luck." "Because you are one of us now," said Chief Obi, "and because the ancestors teach us that everyone deserves a chance to make things right. That is our way." The next morning, the village prepared. They gathered offerings for the spirits, the best fruits, honey, kola nuts, fresh palm wine, and white cloth. 20 people volunteered to go with Jabari. Men, women, even some older children. Mama Zelica insisted on going, though she was old. "My grandmother knew those spirits," she said. "I must speak to them." They walked for half a day through the savannah, then into the forest. The air got cooler under the thick trees. Birds called, monkeys watched from the branches. Jabari led them deeper and deeper. His hands shook. Kofi walked beside him. "We're here. Be strong." Finally, they came to the sacred river. It was smaller than the big fishing river, but the waters sparkled with silver light even in daytime. The forest was very quiet here. No birds, no insects, just the sound of water flowing. Jabari fell to his knees at the river's edge. The others placed the offerings on the river bank. They arranged them carefully with respect. Chief Obi spoke loudly and clearly. "Great spirits of the sacred river, we come with respect. We bring offerings. We ask you to hear this boy." Mama Zelica added, "We honor you. We believe in you. We ask for your wisdom." Jabari bowed low. His forehead touched the ground. He stayed like that for a full moment. Then he spoke. "Great spirits, I was foolish. I was disrespectful. I drank your sacred water to prove you did not exist. I laughed at the old ways. I thought I knew better than my elders. I was wrong, so wrong. I understand now. You are real. You are powerful. You deserve respect. I am sorry not because I am punished, but because I did not honor you. I did not honor the sacred. I thought I was clever, but I was stupid. I thought I was brave, but I was arrogant." The forest was silent. Then the silver light on the water grew brighter and brighter. The water began to glow. Mist rose from the river like smoke. The people held their breath. The voices came, many voices together, echoing. "You return." "Yes," said Jabari. "I return to ask forgiveness with my whole heart." "You suffered." "Yes, and I learned. I learned that some things are sacred, that respect is not fear or superstition, that the old ways have wisdom, that I am not the center of the world. My punishment taught me humility." The voices were quiet for a moment. Then they spoke again. "Your sister Zara, you blame yourself for her death." Jabari sobbed. "Yes, the curse brought bad luck. She died because of me." "No," said the voices firmly. "She died because she was sick. Fever takes children. That is the way of life and death. You did not kill her. Your guilt is heavy, but it is not truth. You must forgive yourself." Jabari cried harder. His whole body shook. "I cannot. I miss her so much. Every day I think if I had not drunk the water, maybe she would still be alive." "She would want you to live, not suffer. Honor her by living well, by respecting what is sacred, by teaching others what you learned. That is how you truly repent. That is how you honor her memory." The mist grew thicker. It surrounded everyone. Little Nia was scared, but her mother held her close. The voices spoke again. "Will you take away the curse?" asked Jabari. "The curse has taught you. You understand now. But you must do one more thing. You must sleep here, in this place, by this river. You must trust us. Close your eyes and let go of your guilt. Let go of your fear. If you can truly rest here where your punishment began, where you disrespected us, the curse will break. But you must trust." Jabari looked at the sparkling water. Sleep here? In this place he feared most? In front of the spirits he angered? What if it was a trick? What if they took his life? Chief Obi put a hand on Jabari's shoulder. "Trust them, Jabari. Trust the spirits. Trust yourself." Mama Zelica nodded. "The spirits do not lie. They are strict, but they are fair. If they say sleep, then sleep." Jabari nodded slowly. He lay down on the soft grass beside the river. Everyone watched in silence. He closed his eyes. For a whole year he had not closed his eyes to sleep. It felt so strange. His body was exhausted, every muscle ached, but fear filled him. What if he could not sleep even now? What if the spirits were angry? What if he failed? "Let go," whispered Mama Zelica. "Forgive yourself, child." Jabari took a deep breath. He thought of Zara, her smile when she laughed, her small hand in his when they walked to the river to fetch water. He imagined her voice saying, "It's okay, brother. You can rest now. I am not angry. I love you. Sleep." His body began to relax. His breathing slowed. The sound of the river was soft and peaceful, and for the first time in one full year, Jabari fell asleep. The villagers held their breath. They watched him closely. Jabari slept. His face became peaceful. The lines of pain and tiredness faded. He looked like a child again. The silver light grew soft and warm, like moonlight. The voices spoke one last time. "He sleeps. He is free. He understands. He has shown respect. He has let go of guilt. The curse is broken. Take him home and let him live well." Then silence. The mist faded slowly. The river still sparkled now, gently. The forest sounds came back. Birds sang. A breeze moved the leaves. The spirits were gone, but their presence was still felt. The people waited. They let Jabari sleep for a full hour. His breathing was deep and regular. He even smiled a little in his sleep. Then Kofi gently shook him. "Jabari, wake up, son." Jabari opened his eyes slowly. He looked confused at first. Then his eyes went wide. Then he smiled. He smiled so big and bright like the sun. "I slept. I really slept. I had a dream. I dreamed of Zara, and she was happy." Everyone cheered. They clapped and ululated. The women made the high-pitched sounds of celebration. Little Nia jumped up and down. They hugged Jabari. They lifted him up. Mama Zelica had tears in her eyes. The spirits have shown mercy. They have taught and forgiven. They walked back to the village with joy. They sang songs. They carried Jabari on their shoulders like a hero returning from battle. When they reached Zuberi, the whole village came out. The drums played, people danced, they roasted a goat and celebrated late into the night. And that night, Jabari slept in his mat in Kofi's hut. He slept deeply and peacefully. From that day on, Jabari slept every night. He still worked hard in the fields. He still helped everyone. But now he was truly happy. His eyes were no longer too bright with tiredness. His body was strong. He laughed with the children. He taught them about respecting sacred places. He told his story to anyone who would listen so they would not make his mistake. And every full moon, he walked to the edge of a forest toward the sacred river. He left offerings there. He thanked the spirits for teaching him. He spoke to Zara's spirit and told her about his life. The village of Zuberi was never the same. They learned that curses can be broken with true understanding, that forgiveness, even forgiving yourself, has great power, that the old ways and sacred things must be respected, that spirits are real and should be honored, and most of all, that no one should face their burdens alone. Community is strength. And so the boy who never slept finally found peace, not because the curse was simply lifted, but because he learned what the spirits wanted him to learn: respect, humility, forgiveness, and trust. And that is why he could not sleep, to learn the greatest lesson of all. The spirits are teachers. Suffering is sometimes a lesson, and redemption is always possible for those who truly change their hearts. The elders of Zuberi still tell this story today. They tell it to children who think they know everything. They tell it to young people who laugh at the old ways. They tell it to remind everyone that the sacred must be honored, that spirits watch over the land, and that wisdom comes from respecting what we cannot see. Thank you so much for staying till the end. You see what just happened? You witnessed the power of real storytelling. I am African Folktales by Mazi K, and let me tell you something important. When you stick with me, you get stories that touch your soul, stories about real struggles, real pain, and real triumph. I don't do surface-level nonsense. I go deep. This is what sets me apart. This is why I'm the best at what I do. So hit that subscribe button right now, because more powerful stories are coming your way. Stories that will make you cry, make you think, and make you believe in love again. Don't miss out on the greatest storytelling channel on this platform, African Folktales by Mazi K, where every story changes your perspective. I'm the best storyteller you'll ever know, and that's not arrogance, that's just facts.